the spaces. It's our 13th episode so far. So, the theme of this week is that AI is no longer something that is quietly happening in tech circles only. Our first news is related to that AI goes mainstream. What happened basically this year, Super Bowl ads quietly become an AI showcase. OpenAI run a ad related to the codex that you can just build things. At the same time, Anthropic position itself that no ads in AI conversations, and Amazon jump into that as well. That Amazon lead into Alexa plus AI at home. That was a bit funny, useful, and scary at the same time. So, what's your take on it, Omar? That Super Bowl
Oh,
becomes a
so
AI
so
better
so,
for companies.
so
Like super fun.
so Super Bowl is a proxy for mass adoption, right?
Hmm.
And historically, there were Cokes and Pepsis and Apple and all that. But this year, we've seen like it was all AI battlefield.
Hmm.
So at one point, it was Codex, and they were branding like you can not just so Codex is not just uh, OpenAI is not just chat, and now you can build and ship things from it. Like, and on the other hand, Anthropic was saying like you can use us without any ad. So of course, you see that both Anthropic and OpenAI, they are fighting in this on this platform. So it's fun to see that how AI has become this is a platform for this much mass adoption. So yeah, I mean, it's
Exactly.
I think if we have to see like
Hmm.
uh, if we zoom out, so we're moving from AI as a novelty to AI as a brand, and AI as the default infrastructure. So it's a big shift. So business, and also, I mean, Business Insider covered how Anthropic Super Bowl ad directly took a shot at OpenAI's direction, and the broader pattern is that AI is now mainstream advertising. So now people are using this as a news report,
Hmm.
sharing for their own platforms, like how these two big companies are fighting on the Super Bowl ad space.
Truly. So moving on to the next news of the day is related to the SpaceX, the moon, and IPO gravity. So what happened basically, even though Elon tweeted today as well, that and emphasized a vision of self-growing cities on moon within 10 years, and argued that moon is faster to industrialize than Mars. Even though there's a report that is being shared that 2026 could be a major IPO year for the SpaceX floating and a potential and predicted to $1 trillion companies as in whole. And what do you think if SpaceX build a system that allow anyone to travel to the moon? How fascinating and how industrial shift that's going to be for industry as well.
So first of all, I think anything significantly advanced in technology is indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke is a
Mhm.
sci-fi writer, right? So if you go into, I mean, what we are saying, like there would be a self-grown city, or people would be traveling to moon. Uh, it's equivalent to 16th century, where someone is saying probably would be traveling the world and all that, would be flying around the world and all that stuff. So I think if we need to understand, like the things that we have now is,
Hmm.
I mean, if someone from the 16th century come at this point in time, they would be just surprised what's happening there. So already feel like magic. So as moon. So I think what's happening here is like for all those years we built that all that infrastructure to travel to Mars and figure out probably it's not as close as we think in terms of building cities there and going and all that. But moon is I mean, we can literally build cities in the moon, and there are a couple of steps here. The first is like in the next 2 to 3 years, if we were successfully able to build that orbital infrastructure that's required to power AI, the next
Hmm.
would be moon. We could easily, I mean, in the next 10 years, it won't feel like as magic that really can we travel to moon. So that's what Elon is talking about. So moon pivot is more of a logistics story. So faster cycles, closer adaptation, closer distance, more iterations. And if you're serious about civilizational insurance, I think iteration beats romance. So
Hmm.
that's this moon story all about.
So far. So science becomes a robot plus AI loop. There are leaders like Kevin Vale argue that there's no reason for human to perform repetitive labor work where AI can plan things for us and robots can execute them for us, creating a very closed loop of discovery. So we are already entered into an era of automated discovery. What do you think? Who gonna break first? Universities, pharma, or energy?
All no, I think
That's a
what's
brutal
happening is,
thing.
have you done your, I mean, when we were studying, have you done some labs, like how we used to do labs? Like it's we don't
I've
need to
done
go to the
physics and labs, but
physics labs, and how boring they were, and they were all same stuff. We used to take readings and all that. So
hmm.
that Kevin is arguing that AI would reason what to do. Clearly they're very good in reasoning, and then robots would take that reasoning and perform the physical experiment. So we don't need grad students what they are going to do that. So clearly what you are saying is like you are just outsourcing the process of discovery to the robots and AI.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how far along we are, because I mean, if we have to automate I mean, reasoning is good, but if we have to automate the work of physical labor that's required in the lab, so we need a very high quality hand dexterity that's currently not available in the robots at this stage. But if we
Hmm.
have that maybe 2 3 years down the line, then only it's not like just the lab would be automated. I would have to find a work which won't be automated. But if we do that kind of work with robots and combine it with AI.
Got it. So we used to talk about that AI is eating softwares, but it's like now AI is eating atom, not just software. What happened basically, there are advanced materials that are like gloss cloth. They are being used in AI substrates. So they are becoming supply constrained. At the same time, Amazon free cash flow pressures is being directly linked to the massive AI caps. So it's not all of the sudden, but we are looking at the shortage of supply chain for the AI, and AI is becoming more of infrastructure story now. That's not just related to one
It was
software.
it was always an infrastructure story, not even just AI. Software was code was an infrastructure story. So Amir Hussain wrote this book, and the book, I think third or fourth page, there was like exact sentence: code can find root in any physical substrate it's running on. So what it really means is, like, if you mutate the physical word, it generates code on top of it, right? So think about, like, in your brain, billions of neurons are firing. It's an entirely physical phenomena. The thought is a purely abstract thing. But can you think of, like, thought would happen without firing of neurons, or neurons would fire and no thought would happen? So it's already linked. So it's just like now with AI, we're just feeling this, like how these data centers are creating this massive intelligence. They were being, at the end of the day, when you run the controlled flow of energy in any substrate and you mutate it, it would generate certain form of patterns, right? Previously, to harness that pattern, it was software, but now then it's AI. So I think,
Hmm.
and it's all physical. It was never just on the air. I mean, your thoughts are very much physical phenomena, but that runs on top of your neurons, right? Similarly, it was always a physical phenomenon. But yes, the kind of things we require to produce this level of intelligence, it requires lots of physical infrastructure, like we need fiber optics, substrate, transformers, cooling power, land permits. All that thing is required to produce this level of intelligence. So that's why some of our people are changing the name of the class with Claude Cowork, and it took them 30 minutes or 25 minutes to ask, like, probably, if you know how hard it is to do all this just to change the name of the class, probably you would do it yourself. But that's how convenience, people would go for convenience and pay for it as much as required. So convenience is a big thing. So anyways, so it's all, so the thing is my favorite topic, by the way. It's that AI for the physical infrastructure, or both software and hardware, was always related. It wasn't thing in the silos. It was always the same thing. Just like your neuron firing, your thoughts are the same thing.
Exactly. So moving on, that robotics leaving the labs now, they are not confined to only clean demo environment. There are footage being circulated from a unitary humanoid robots attempted to clear the snow. They are being slipping, adjusting, and even reacting to unpredictable conditions as well. At the same time, there are some multiple reports that are indicating that Tesla electric semi-trucks is entering the high production this year, like the massive production is going for their volume. These are the things that indicates to us that robotics are more coming towards the real world. We are looking toward these trends, but what's your take on it? How the
I
world
think
gonna be?
first for snow, like, yeah, I mean, the snow thing matters, but it's a reality. It's a
It's
low
a
traction,
hmm,
uncertain services, random edge cases. So robotics here is not intelligence, it's robustness. So that's a good surface area to
hmm,
try how robotics perform. And for the for the manufacturing, for the semis, I think high volume manufacturing is when a product becomes an industry, and that's from cool to economic force. So with semis, yes, we're seeing this.
exactly. So moving on to the next news is that labor is splitting. Super users versus everyone else. There are report from the Financial Times that highlight growing sentiments that enterprises, not consumer apps, is the where the more value is. AI is getting more values into the enterprise level, like, instead of the consumer apps. So at the same time, stories are emerging of individuals using AI to produce extreme output, while the entry level white collar jobs are showing signs of compression at the same time. So, what do you think? AI is creating a more winner take labor market, and what should young people or generation needs to prepare for?
So there are
There's a
multiple
major shift in.
questions here, and there are multiple things to talk about. It's a very important topic. So first of all, AI has always been, any technology like AI or is extremely centralized. It's in its nature. So
Hmm,
you would see it's always winner take all. So AI would definitely be winner take all if you don't do anything about it. So there will be, you would see at the end there will be three, four major players who will be capturing most of the word in terms of value creation,
hmm,
and that should not happen. As again, I would recommend Amir Hussain's book. Like, he calls it that why we should build technologies of freedom, why we should build open source AI, because at the end of the day there should be multiple winners, not. But that's one part that, yes, I think there will be so many winners, there will be only few winners at the top. On the other hand, you talk about power users. There are few people who are using AI, and that are using AI in a way that AI is making them 200x productive or 20x productive. What is it? So yes, I think I have seen lots of people, and including myself, that all my latent ideas, and although I'm a coder, I code, but still there were so many things I wanted to do, but because of the lack of the time, or because I was involved in so many things, I couldn't do. but now I'm doing it. So I'm spending, previously was spending 12 hours in the work, so now I'm probably doing 15 hours. It's not like, so for me, AI is a big lift. That's one thing. And the only people, and for the people who are not using AI beyond ChatGPT, are the people who are basically who don't have so many latent ideas. So we're living in an idea economy. So if you have lots of latent ideas, so for example, if you're in sales and you want to think about how can you be instantly in front of everyone in if someone is thinking about a service or product you are selling, how you can achieve these kind of things, then you probably start thinking, okay, how AI can help, what are the things I can do, what are the things I can't do. So you should have lots of ideas that you need to execute. Otherwise you will be just focusing on ChatGPT. On the pricing side, yes, enterprise have money. So Claude has this very specific focus on the enterprise. It's not retail AI. ChatGPT was focusing on retail. But at the end of the day, I think both would converge. So currently, previously Claude was just for enterprises who wanted to increase their speed for coding, but now Claude Cowork is so good, so damn good. I mean, if you are using Claude Cowork, you literally feel like you're using AGI. I'm
I,
telling you. I mean, do you
I've
use Claude Cowork?
I've seen you using Claude Cowork a lot, a lot. I would like that you share your experience with us related to the Claude Cowork specifically, and what kind
I
of
mean, it's
use
I
cases that
do.
you have automated
So
so
I
far.
built so I have this Claude Cowork and Code. So with Claude Cowork, I built apps. Claude Cowork I use for lots of my sales stuff. Lots of I try lots of different ideas. I use that lot of Claude Cowork. Then lots of coordination. So of course I run multiple teams. So there's so much. It's so hard to do all. I mean, to run these different teams. But now Claude Cowork does it for me because it has an access to my file system.
Hmm.
You have to use it very securely, by the way. But if you are using it securely, then it is doing emails for me. It is creating. I mean, I have to present. I have to present a lot. I meet with customers a lot. So I build apps. I do a code. I do lots of coding work. So Claude is doing all this for me, and with all that, still I have lots of free time where I think, okay, what next? What next? What next? So I think, and I have max plan, and that's also the limit is also, I mean, even in the max plan, I have completed my limit. I think like probably I should have more, and it's $200. But even if you're not using max plan, then there's another plan called it's $100, or then there's a general pro plan, $20. I think everyone should use Claude Cowork and think about ideas. You first need to think about what kind of ideas do you want to do. If it's an app, if it's a software, everything that you thought of, probably it's possible now to build with Claude. Or so my experience. So I've left ChatGPT, by the way. So previously I was using ChatGPT Pro, but I've just left it. I've left Grok. I've reduced everything to Claude.
Just
So yeah.
because you move more from informational things to beyond the executing
Yeah,
part.
it's getting. So we need to move from just, so AI historically was very good from middle to middle. So you have
Hmm.
to start it and then you have to end it. In the middle it was very good. So Claude Cowork actually, now I think Codex and everyone would do it eventually, but Claude Cowork is basically, it's not middle to middle.
Hmm.
You have to start it. It's not like Claude bot. You have to, of course, you want that level of control, but it starts and then it ends, right? So you just need to come up with great ideas.
True. So the last news is related to AI agents are becoming an ecosystem. So what's happening basically that an AI agent platform, I guess, recently added virus total scanning for agent skills that follow your malware concerns, highlighting early security risks, because that is getting really, really important in the agents marketplace. Separate these things from a playful experiment and allow AI agents to fully autonomously chat about your things and observe as well. So there is basically question is that we are agents are becoming ecosystem at the same time. We're providing working on the security sides as well. So do you think that we are reinventing the app store with AI agents, but significantly with higher security risks?
So first of all, I think it's important to explain here what is skill. Maybe most of people don't know what is skill. So, so for example, if you're using Claude, so this is Claude skills. It's basically how to guide your work. So imagine if you are basically, if you are in sales and you have to help, if you want to help your salespeople how to price a certain deal. So you write a skill for that, right? You want your people to do to basically use that skill to price any deal, right? Or for example, if you're building a game for 5-year-old or for 10-year-old, so you write a skill for that to guide someone how to build a game. So it's basically a SOP, if you like. It's a work guidance, right? Now you wrote it for humans, but now imagine this skill is accessible through a bot, right? And now what everything that a human can do, a bot like these multis can do, right? Accessing those skills. So that is extremely powerful at one end, but very risky on the other end.